Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Creators Block podcast. I'm your host, Elvis, aka Elvis Likes Photos, and this podcast is brought to you by Creators Block, of course. What Creators Block is, it's a collective and a platform for creatives to tell their story, whether it's through merch, short films, or this podcast. If you're a creative and you want to tell your story, hit me up. We should do a podcast. So on this episode, I speak to one of my long-term friends, Toni, aka Toni Tonez, and we catch up on our experiences and his transition into producing music as well as his future goals. This was a very fun convo. It's nice catching up, and I can't wait to refer to this convo back in the next 20 to 30 years and just see our growth. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. We go over several topics. Again, the timeline's listed below. If you want to skip to your favorite part, feel free to do so. I list it for a reason, and here's the podcast. Hello?
Hi.
Okay, cool. All right, let's just start it. Fuck it.
Yeah, whatever you want.
All right. Like I usually have an intro, so we'll just kind of we'll just start talking.
Throw it out.
So, Antonio.
Hi.
It's been, what, a year?
Yeah, basically, to the day. A couple days.
Yeah, the last time we did a podcast was when I had it in the studio. And yeah, it's been a year, man. That's crazy,
July.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You just checked the update, and it's literally been a year since I uploaded the podcast with me and Antonio. So a lot has happened in a year.
Yeah, a lot.
And it's time to update. So for people who don't know, Antonio, introduce yourself.
My name's Antonio Costella. I go by Toni Tonez.
Toni Tonez.
You can find me on Instagram. Make music. I make anything you want me to make. Oh, breaking stuff out here. Grip that mic. Yeah.
Yo. I'm probably gonna cut that out.
Hit your chin.
I hit my fucking chin. All right, yeah. Give an update of. Oh wait, no. Let's start out. So introduce yourself one more time.
My name's Antonio. I go by Toni Tonez. I work on music mainly. I have my own studio right now. I'm trying to, promote that out here.
All right. So, how did you get into music? Let's just just start from the very beginning.
Like making music, or just in general.
Music.
Back in when we graduated high school, I wanted to make more movies, so I bought a camera. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
I had, a camera. Yeah, and they got lost.
And Jonathan too.
Yeah, Jonathan too. I was more wanting to make short films and skits with Matt and Bryant. That's what we were trying to do, but then I lost it.
You lost what, the camera?
The camera, yeah. Either someone stole it or I lost it.
Someone stole
I think
it,
someone stole it from my car. And when that happened, I was like, damn, I don't want to buy another camera. And then our boy Gerardo, he'd be making music on the machine, and he would come over and he would just play around. And I was like, oh wow, that's I didn't know that's how it worked. I didn't know there was DAWs and shit like that at all.
Yeah.
And then when he showed me that, I was like, oh, I want to do this now. And then, I found FL, and I've been using it since then.
You mentioned that the Gerardo got a couple people into music or something.
Yeah, pretty much me and Bryant. He was the one that was oh, because I had no idea how that shit worked at all beforehand.
That's crazy.
I didn't know there was DAW. I thought you just recorded into a mic and made with instruments. I had no idea it was how it is.
I mean, I have a basic idea of how it works just because of my brother, but obviously not to that extent. It's probably the same as complicated when you do music and filmmaking, But that's crazy. That's cool how you got into it. So as far as making music, what else do you try to do to keep your creativity side active? Or right now you're just focusing on music before you expand?
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to get the music shit down more before I start making we're thinking of skits now a lot more now that we have it's a lot more realized. Mm-hmm. And now
what kind of music do you like doing?
Mainly hip hop.
Hip hop.
I try to mix in the rock with it. Especially now that I got the studio, I could record myself playing guitar and drums and bass.
You have a rock background, right?
Yeah, mad rock.
Mad rock.
I didn't listen to hip hop till junior year.
Yo, when did you graduate high school? 2014?
Yeah,
2014. So long.
I really didn't I only listened to Eminem and Linkin Park and Metallica. That was all me middle school and high school. Led Zeppelin and the Beatles.
That's OD.
And then
yeah, no, you had a very good music because I knew you before. I knew you in I think it might have been my junior year, so you were a sophomore.
Yeah, that's when we really met.
Yeah.
Beforehand, I would see you like skating maybe, or like just with other friends. Like I knew you like mutually, but then
Yeah, we used to chill at your house all the time. Yeah.
yeah,
It was so cool. It's crazy
in the
how
other room.
that always. Yeah. Oh man, those are old times.
Yeah, Matt got mad pictures. I got pictures from in there. I was just hanging out in there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You gotta send me those because those are. I feel like.
Matt has a lot. If you want to ask him.
I feel like my biggest regret was not taking enough pictures during that time. And when I skated, I didn't record as much because I was more like, oh, I know I did it myself, so I don't need to prove anything. Which I'm completely fine with. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. But now I wish I kind of did have those moments, you know?
Yeah, like you have like a
like
you
just
doing
a
a
day
crazy
in
trick
life,
over
you know?
a nice set. Yeah,
Just like a day in life. It's
yeah, like a vlog of you just skating. Now you want to do that, but you can't skate that.
yeah, it's so hard. I mean, but it's also because back then when we would skate, we had like 30 people like in a parking lot, just hanging out.
Yeah, literally.
And it was nice. We'd wake up like sunrise to sunset, even past that,
Going to different
just
spots.
up all day.
Starting at Aldi, going to fucking somewhere in Passaic,
And
going to
then-
Garfield.
And then Hoboken or
Yeah,
something, and
and then-
like end up in Jersey City, and then just find a ride back home with $5 in our
Yeah.
pocket.
You guys are the masters at that. I don't know how you guys did that at all.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. It was a different time. Yeah, and now I try to do that now in general. So whenever, even when I'm just, I mean, I've only been making like videos for a year. So by the time when we did our podcast last year, I still didn't even get into video.
Yeah, you were barely doing anything.
So I wasn't doing
photography.
anything. The only video was the podcast itself, and that's no edits. And photography's only been like 2 or 3 years. So even now, I try to take just like a regular clip of a day in life, just me and my current setup, or just me talking to somebody, and just walk around with it. Like I don't even post it up or anything. I just keep it and just have it in my archives just to have.
Yeah, you've gotten good at editing and making the videos, and like I remember
Yeah.
when I literally remember that first day we did a photography, and we went to the library. I remember you and Manny were editing, and I was just reading
Yeah.
a book,
Yeah.
and like that was your first time really editing a video, like seriously.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do shit, man.
Yeah, now you got it pretty down packed.
Yeah, like I have a good gist of the editing part. Obviously there's a lot to learn, but as far as what I want to portray, it's pretty much there. You know, like I haven't really had any drawbacks as far as like what I want to portray and like what kind of edits I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So some people get really intensive with the edits, and that's cool, but it's not my style right now of filming.
Yeah,
so,
overdoing it.
so as far as my style of filming, it's pretty much on point with what I want to do.
Yeah, I like how you do it just enough. You don't like crazy like zoom in edits and like quick cuts while you're talking.
Yeah,
like,
it's distracting, you know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It takes away from the story, so I want the story to kind of show everything. All right, so let's talk about what are you currently up to? Like what's your current projects at the moment?
Right now, I'm just working on like recording. I've been me and Gerardo are kind of like working on a tape together. He got me like a sample pack, and we've been like bouncing back ideas.
Oh,
with
really?
it. Yeah. Even Brian has done a couple, so maybe we might add him into it. But yeah, that my plan right now is probably drop a tape with Gerardo,
Oh, really?
like real quick. Yeah, just
I
like
didn't know he
little-
still makes music.
Yeah, he does it mad low key.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he's
that's
like,
good. At least he likes.
And now
it.
that he doesn't be working at G Wings no more.
Oh, it's his family spot, right?
Yeah, now that he says he has a lot more time to work on it. He does. He makes good stuff. He's not bad at all. He's very good.
Nice.
And then maybe another solo tape by myself.
Yeah,
And then I might start recording like.
you guys have improved a lot with your beats and stuff.
Appreciate that.
It's getting a lot more complicated, and it's getting more in sync with each other, like a lot more silhouette, you know.
Yeah.
So that's also very important, like the way it flows. You can make a nice beat, but if it doesn't flow with each instrument, then it defeats the purpose, you know.
Yeah. Like I feel like my last tape was really good, and I mixed and mastered it myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a separate art itself.
That's why I'm trying to get. I'm trying to do that for other people around here.
Like just mix and master for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, you should probably take on just a bunch of people to see what we can do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, help out. I'm trying to help out people around here. I know everybody's trying to make music around here, Passaic and Patterson,
Yeah,
Clifton.
man, it's crazy.
So I wouldn't mind having people in here recording. I'll engineer for them. Help
That's
out.
crazy.
And then I might start.
Yeah, you should build a little wall here. So this is Antonio's studio
word.
/ room / basement.
Yeah, my room.
AKA
This is the other half that isn't part of the studio at all.
It's really good though. Like it's nice.
Yeah, once I
And,
get those curtains up there covering it all, it'll look a lot more professional.
Yeah, you should make like a wall though, like a booth or some shit. I don't know. I mean,
The curtains will do pretty good.
That's true.
And
That's true.
the isolation shield is like really
and this
good.
is concrete too, so it's fine. But that's crazy though. All right, so that's your current projects.
Yeah, pretty much.
So as far as making music, because this is your medium of creativity, what do you want to portray in your music exactly? Is it a form for you to express yourself, or do you want to actually convey a message to people?
Probably a lot more of a message. I do express myself, obviously, but it's a lot more like I'm trying to like say something. I'm trying to.
So is that conscious that you do that, or is that more it happens to be that way?
Half and half. Like my last tape, half of it was probably like conscious. Me just like, okay, I want the tape. This song means this. This beat kind of like has this type of feeling for this. And then I start adding in the skits. And then it would just be kind of weird where I would notice stuff that like worked together, even for me not even meaning it to work. Like I put a skit that had like a flamethrower, and I put a delay on it, so that and then when the beat ends, there's like a, and then the next beat, I didn't even notice this. The cymbals on it kind of sound like that flamethrower, same rhythm.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I did not mean for that to happen at all. And when I listened to it back, I was like, oh wow, that actually goes together really well, and I did not mean for that at all to happen.
That's mad interesting because when I edit too, a lot of times if I'm cutting something, like the way Final Cut works too is there's like a magnetic timeline. So when you cut something, it kind of like goes backwards and stuff. I mean, I keep that setting on because I just, you could take it on and off. So people complain about it, but I'm used to it. But when I edit, sometimes I cut something out by accident or like I change something and it flows right, you know? And that's 100% by accident.
Yeah.
And a lot of the good edits that people like, they're just like, oh, I like how you did that. I'm just like, I don't even know how I did that. It just happened. I don't even know why that happened. Yeah. But I just kept it.
Yeah, but then when I think to my first tape was a little bit more of me expressing myself and showing off my like the variety of my skills, like how I can make this type of beat, I can make that type of beat. Okay. And then the second tape was a little bit more like I have skits in there that kind of
a lot more concentrated.
Yeah,
right?
a lot more like has like a theme to it almost in a way, like concepts.
Okay. And when you make I guess when you're working on your next one, what exactly do you want to portray in that one?
A little bit more of a expression, like a little more just vibe, like a nice little like energy. It's gonna be a lot more chill.
How do you keep yourself motivated for that? What do you do?
Imagining how it's gonna be in the future. Like I know that if I do this tape now, it'll open more doors, and that makes me like motivated to want to work more. You know what I'm saying? Like just like thinking about how I'm taking the baby steps now to become more like well known and famous or whatever you want to say. That it will come back and, you know.
What is your end goal?
Honestly, I now that I have the studio, I've been able to like really put it to like what I want, and that's a production company.
Oh, you want a production company?
Yeah, like to start. Like I could do everything in house. We can make videos, movies if we really had the money for that, like a budget, like TV shows. Have like a wing of like maybe like our friends that do gaming, help them out and do videos on there. Like you ever heard of Rooster Teeth?
Yeah,
kind of like.
Remember we went to? Oh no, you didn't.
You didn't go. Oh yeah, you know. So you know Rooster Teeth.
Did you go to the Austin trip?
Nah.
Oh,
remember I couldn't.
I went like that. That was like the second year they had it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I didn't go. But
like me and Matt have known about them for a really long time.
Oh yeah, I know.
And like they really gave me that influence to be or inspiration to be like, damn, I could kind of just do everything independently if I just get my own fan base.
That's interesting.
Like that's pretty much what I've always wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to do. That's cool.
And I want to start the studio, you know, make money with the studio, and eventually, you know, next thing, then eventually, however many steps down that is, to have my own production company.
So okay.
I haven't thought of a name yet, though. I might have one. I don't want to say it, but I'll let you know.
You're gonna keep it a secret?
Yeah, I'll let you. Not on air. Because again, it's stupid.
All right. As far as so currently, who would you want to work with?
Like famous people?
Yeah.
Damn. Off the top. Not a lot, really.
Really?
Yeah. Like I feel like everyone who's famous right now kind of does good with their own sounds. Like I would like to have people like Tyler the Creator or like, you know, or damn. There's people like that.
But what do you mean they'll have their own sounds?
Like they don't really work with people a lot. The people I like Tyler the Creator doesn't really work with
Yeah, wasn't his whole
other
album
rappers.
like in house?
Yeah, and like he had support, he had features, but it wasn't like a lot of different things. Like if I feel like I make good beats that people like Playboi Carti or Lil Uzi Vert could rap on. I wouldn't be if they wanted one for me, I would totally send them one. But they're not like someone I'm like, yo, I really want to work with Lil Uzi Vert. I'm like, that would be nice to give him a beat.
I know what you mean though, because
Maybe Mick Jenkins, Denzel Curry. They're like really Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick, Joey Badass.
I know what you mean.
If I really wanted to make a beat for someone,
Yeah,
that's what I
that
would
makes
wanna
a lot
be.
of sense.
Yeah,
That's kind of the way I think of it, because when I want to start making more films, and if I make a music video, it's not gonna be me making a music video for an artist. It'd be me coming up with the concept and finding an artist that fits that.
exactly. You want it to be natural. Like you don't want to be forced.
Yeah, and I don't really care who's the artist that's in it, as long as the beat or the music kind of ties into the story.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's what I like, you know. But yeah, I don't really have people I want to work with either.
Yeah.
Like, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not
Exactly.
planning on it, you know.
Yeah, I'm not like I really need a fucking Playboi Carti feature. It's like if he wants one, I'll give him one. It'll
That's
be cool.
interesting.
I don't hate him.
And is that the same reason too? You want to make your own stuff, like house stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty much why.
Hmm.
And like I said, if it was gonna be with another artist, a famous artist, I would want it to be natural. No, I wouldn't want to just give them a beat and they just rap on it and then whatever, like it's a throwaway track.
Who are your influences for?
When it comes to hip hop, definitely Tyler.
Definitely Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler,
Why?
Childish Gambino. He in the independent stuff, you know, him with the Golf Wang and just Odd Future in general, they were very independent. Like they were doing everything in house. Sound wise, I kind of feel like I take some cues from him.
You had a rock background, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think you draw influences from them too?
Yeah,
Because you said you
definitely.
mix it with hip hop and stuff.
Yeah, the reason why I like music is because of the Beatles.
Oh, really?
I try to, yeah.
Hey, you were a big Beatles fan.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, when I'm making the music, I kind of like
How'd you get into listening to the Beatles though? Is it
my family.
Family?
Yeah, my dad bumps them. My
Oh, really?
earliest memories are me waking up, my uncle blasting "Loose in the Sky with Diamonds" or any of the "Lovely Rita," all those type of songs. Just a day in the life. Just remember waking up Saturday mornings like and hearing that.
Really?
Yeah, are we going on a road trip? My dad would put either the Beatles or Led Zeppelin.
That's mad funny because you know how like
literally those
Hispanics
two.
have like the regular beats, like the bachata and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have the Beatles.
Yeah, and Led Zeppelin and fucking Black
nice.
Sabbath, like that type of shit. My mom would be like, "Yo, like, what are we listening to?" And I'm just like, "This shit fucking rocks." The Beatles is nice.
Do you
Led
remember
Zeppelin.
the first time hearing it though? Like that you just noticed how much you liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
One time we were on a road trip, or not like a road trip, but we were driving around, and my dad was playing "Loose in the Sky with Diamonds," and I was just like, "This is like beautiful. Like this is just like crazy how this song is making me feel." Like,
Yeah?
yeah, you know what? Like, just that or "Dear Prudence," you know that song?
No, I don't. But
Well, it's a good song too.
I'm not. I've always appreciated like the, like Beatles and like Kiss and everyone. You know, like I always appreciated the music, but I never really got into it because I grew up with just Hispanic, like bachata, like aventura and stuff. So I appreciate those, but still nothing to the extent of like having my own music. And that's when I kind of like, but
Tyler, I feel like is a good way of me mixing what I like with the hip hop, because what Tyler does is more like he mixes like the soul stuff with the hip hop. I want to mix more like psychedelic rock, hard rock with hip
that's
hop.
crazy. That's cool.
You know, that's what I'm trying to like go more for.
What other industries would you get into that you
Oh, anything, movies, TV shows. I have ideas for movies already.
really?
Mhm.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, I showed you this one. He liked it a lot.
Like a concept.
Yeah, just nothing like I don't have screenplays written out or anything, but you know, have like ideas and how I want the story to go.
Yeah.
TV shows I have. Skits.
So right now,
Video gaming
right now
stuff.
it's music because that's just what you're concentrated on now, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's the way I could like get that foot in the door of like just opening up the rest of everything I want to do. Like eventually, I will be down to make cars. That'll be really fucking cool. I love cars.
Like designing cars.
Yeah, like having my own car company.
Oh,
that'd
really?
be- yeah, I just feel like that would be if I could get it successful. That would be amazing.
Wait, why? Just because you've always liked cars, or
Yeah, just because I love cars. I feel like I could make a good car. I'll make some cool ass cars with mad
Yeah,
cool
to make-
names.
you know, to make this shit mad electric now? There's no gas.
Yeah.
No gas guzzling anymore.
Maybe I don't want to make cars. It's not the same.
You like the yeah. It's all tech now, man.
Yeah. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like if I want to design a car, I would want a fucking.
You want an engine?
Yeah, diesel or not diesel, engine,
You want an
oil engine.
It feels nice when you drive a car. Like
yeah, it's
that.
different because when you do the electric cars, it's a straight power.
It feels nice though.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a different luxury. You know?
But then when you drive a normal car, it kind of like slowly gets to what you want it to go. You know, you feel it more.
That is different.
Like a Tesla, you can't get no turbo noise.
I know.
On my car, I could get turbo noise.
So
I'm like, I love that chirp. I like chirp. I love that shit.
I'm so yeah. And driving stick isn't beneficial anymore.
Yeah, because all the electric cars are like one gear, just straight forward.
Yeah,
like they literally don't even shift.
And even the newer cars, like paddle shifting is like the thing, which is nice, but it's not the same.
It's not the same at all.
It's like driving a manual car feels cool because you could feel the engine. It feels like the cranking, like the.
Yeah, you feel you feel everything.
Ah man, that's
what I'm saying, bro. I want to make a car. Like it would be mad badass if I had a car company.
Yeah,
I just want to make everything my own.
I did want to get into architecture, so I always appreciate architecture stuff.
Yeah,
and obviously designing my own home is a very big goal of mine. Like naturally because of that, and I don't know. I guess my business building would be like I'd want to design it too. Like that's also like something.
I'm bad at drawing.
Me too, but I think I'm very detail oriented just because I used to always build models of random shit, you know? Like I don't know why, like as a kid I used to just get whatever I can and just like make like a little house. Like you know when back then we actually played with toys?
Yeah, Legos.
Yeah, so I never had Legos actually.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I built mad random stuff with Legos, houses and shit.
It's upsetting because I think that would have been a lot easier for me. But
I can't believe you never played with Legos. That's pretty fucked up.
It was expensive, man.
Really? Were they?
Yeah.
Damn.
They were expensive, and
you didn't want to be a Mega Bloks kid. Like fuck that shit. I want the real thing. I want the real thing. Wherever the cheap fucking Legos were back then. I forgot.
Yeah, the Mega Bloks. You're right.
Yeah.
I never had toy soldiers too.
Oh, that's cheap though.
Yeah, I know, but
you go to the supermarket and find like a little bag of those.
For some reason, whenever I tried looking for it, I couldn't find it, and I never really asked my parents for that because it's like the ones I've seen were like $20 and stuff that I wanted. And I'm like, damn, that's a lot, you know? Like, I mean, back then for toys that like they're not sure if I'm gonna play with for like more than 10 minutes, you know?
You lose them, especially those little green guys.
So I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I don't want to ask them. But I'm upset because like I wish I did have them. And I told my mom that like recently, and she was like, oh no, like we never bought you new toys.
We never brought. Oh man, got her mad guilty. It's funny that you bring up toys because that's how a lot of the inspiration for like being creative really started for me. Because like you would play with your friends. And you guys would like have your random ass toys, and you just make up stories of why they're fighting, and like why they're doing all that. You know, that's how a lot of inspiration started with me to want to create things.
Yeah, and I feel like that also expanded me too. Like not having like Legos and stuff kind of expanded me to use my resources. So like that goes into how I make my films and like and how I take photos. So my biggest strong suit is using my resources like at the moment. So I understand how light hits something and I understand how to manipulate it, but it's hard for me to create it from scratch. So like if I have a set, I'm gonna need help with somebody being like, yo, I need to do this and that, and I want the lighting to hit it this way. I still don't know enough about lighting for me to understand how to manipulate it to a certain way.
You hear that popping?
Yeah, I do actually. I think it was that.
Yeah, a little disconnected. There you go.
Oh shit! I wonder if it recorded, but whatever. So it's hard for me to create, like if I have a blank set, it's hard for me to come up with the vision because I don't have things to use, you know? Like I'm not that artistic. Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Okay. I might have just been too far.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it fucked up.
Yeah. All right.
But I know what you're saying.
Green, so.
Yeah.
And how do you do with music?
What?
Do you use sound around you?
Oh, hell yeah.
To kind of create something?
And one of the last beats I have on my Instagram, I made on a plane.
Oh, really?
On the way to Cali, yeah. And I couldn't think of an intro, so I literally just recorded the inside of the cabin noise, like the air and just like that. And
really?
I edited. I edited the sound just in a way that it made it sound like something was happening. I feel like I did a good job with that.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because like planes make like that humming noise, and that like the cabin has like that AC noise in it. You like, and I just used that and I edited it in a way to make it sound good.
What you record it with?
My phone.
Really?
Because I just did it on GarageBand, and GarageBand just has an audio input. I just held it up for like 10 seconds or 15 maybe,
and then just like looped it and stuff.
Yeah, and then just like did some crazy like gating and like EQing.
What do you like about music? Do you like making it? Because I know you know how to play a few instruments. What instruments do you know how to play?
guitar, piano is probably what I'm most good at.
Piano?
Yeah. Piano and guitar. Probably piano, yeah. I'm getting a lot better at drums. And bass is, if you know how to play guitar, you could play bass, honestly.
Yeah. It is a different art, but like the idea of it, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just less strings. They're a little more bassier sounding.
Yeah.
But they play it
You do
basically
need like
the
a
same.
separate creative like field for it though.
Yeah.
I know it is. The wires are interrupting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, besides that, that's all I really know. Yeah, that's all I know how to play.
Yeah.
Guitar, bass, drums, and piano.
And who taught you those?
Piano, I kind of got outside influence from, but not really.
What do you mean outside influence?
Like in high school, I took a piano class, but I
you
didn't,
did? Yeah,
I didn't
but
learn a lot.
They don't really help.
I learned like a little bit of music. I learned scales, like kind of like music theory a little bit, but I didn't really pay attention and care about the class that much. It was more I just got to sit in front of piano for like 45 minutes a day, just mess around.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And guitar, nothing really. Nobody. Just
How did you figure it out?
There's a game called Rocksmith. You ever heard of it?
Rocksmith. No.
You literally plug in your guitar and it like you play a game like as if it was Guitar Hero, but you're using a real guitar.
Oh, really?
That helped a lot.
Wasn't that? I know there's Guitar Hero. Then there's like
Rock Band.
Rock Band, but it's not Rock Band.
No, it's Rocksmith.
Rocksmith.
It's a whole different game. They they have like ways to teach you. That helped me a lot. But then also just playing around just helped a lot. Piano is a good basis to learn instruments. You really get an idea for how other things work too. Piano and then bass, like I said, if you know guitar, you know bass. And drums, you just got to kind of throw yourself into it and learn. Honestly,
Yeah,
it'd definitely be better if I had someone to teach me. Like I have like people, like I have Orlando. Like I watch him play, and that helps me a lot, get better a lot because he's like really fucking good.
I figured Orlando. Whoops. I figured Orlando's pretty good at drums.
He's like, yeah, we were jamming out here yesterday with Felix, and it was like, he's really good.
I'm gonna pause it real quick.
And we back.
Estamos para atrás.
See.
All right. Where did we leave off? We left off at talking about instruments, right?
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you something. I completely forgot though.
Talking about piano, guitar.
Yeah, I know we were talking about the instruments.
How I learned.
How you learned. And then, when we were talking about the sound, actually, because you mentioned. Okay, so when we were talking about the sound, I was asking you what kind of creative you are. So, can you make sounds from just staring at your screen, or like just playing around, or you kind of have to? I guess when you're making music, do you already have an idea like of a random beat that you want to get into, or do you just experiment and play around with the sound and see what comes out?
It depends, but I could definitely just figure out hear a couple like go through the synths or play a piano real quick and get an idea for what I want to hear, like the melody, and kind of build off that.
Have you ever had?
There's definitely been times where I've like been in my head like, oh, that sounds like boom. I gotta do like a beatbox to the drums, like some shit like that, or the melody. I hum it out. But besides that, yeah.
Have any of your beats been like you already knew exactly what you wanted, so you just need to put it together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll hear a beat and I'm like, damn, I want to make a beat like that. Like I hear an instrumental and I'm like, damn, that really inspired me to make a beat. And I'm like, I want it to have that similar tempo or maybe a bass line similar to that. And then I just like have the entire idea in my head already.
Yeah, because I think my strong suit is understanding my environment and using the resources I have. So whatever you give me, like I could probably create something pretty decent, but I'm not like, oh, I wish I had this thing, or like I need this thing to make this thing, or my environment's this, but like I need some lights here, some that I'm gonna need this equipment. It's also because I don't know what equipment exists.
I know what you're saying. I get that one.
But as far as my current environment, like if the sun's hitting a certain way, I know what would be the best option for that, at least for whatever I want to portray.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how it is with music too, because because with music I feel like it's a blank canvas.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's also because of the instruments. You play around with instruments, you come out with the beat, like how you said. Because people that draw, they just draw from scratch.
Yeah,
just like,
I have no idea how they do that.
And I think that's a different creativeness. You know, they might not even be able to use their resources, but they know how to make things from scratch like that.
Yeah, they have a pen and a paper. They could make something.
Yeah, and that's it. I feel like that's crazy.
music, the only thing that kind of holds it back is the quality of your instrument.
Yeah.
Like if you have a really bad sounding synth that just sounds bad, like you can maybe get a good melody out of it, but it might not catch anyone's ear still because it's just on a bad instrument. That's really the only thing holding you back at a point.
Like if you're recording even a podcast, if you have a bad mic, it's just gonna sound kind of funny.
Yeah, it's not gonna sound as good as like just a normal mic.
When we did our last podcast, I had the Rode mic, and because of the room, it was very echoey.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard.
You only had one camera.
One camera. I mean, I still have one camera now. But
yeah, but it was way different.
But there's two mics, and it's capturing like the voices a little more full. All right. So when you're thinking about like your success, some people have daily routines. Do you have a daily routine that you work on every single day so that you reach your goal?
Yeah, for me, just having a productive day feels like a win for me.
So how does a productive day look for you?
Like I wake up pretty early like today and then go to the gym, get it out the way pretty quick.
How often do you go to the gym?
At least 3 times a week.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been going back a lot more. Just off the gym, sometimes I'd be feeling like I had a good day just because, the gym makes you feel like that.
No, that's crazy.
If I made money that day, that would be help too. If I worked real quick, I made like $100, that'll be nice. But making music, obviously, after that, getting a nice shower and then coming in just down here and going to make a beat, playing some video games, maybe relax a little bit after that and then make another beat.
Is there something that's ritual for you that you wake up and this is the first thing you have to do?
Drink coffee.
Yeah.
Eat and drink coffee.
Is it no? Because some people skip breakfast and some people don't drink coffee. Because I forget to drink coffee sometimes because I don't really need it.
I'm full on addicted.
But
my nose is in it.
I don't need it, but it just when I drink it, like I do feel a lot more productive just drinking it, just because I like the taste of it, and like it feels like it completes my daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I wonder because a lot of people like meditate and shit like that. It's cool and all, but I mean, it's not for me.
I feel like you find your own way to meditate. Like just sitting there, like if that works for you, that works for you. I've done it and it does work. Like sitting there and counting backwards from 1,000, just being in the moment.
And counting backwards 1,000.
It does. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Really?
Yeah, you count back from 1,000. After for me, I've counted all the way to 700, and you don't really get into that zone yet. And after a little bit, you'll really you do feel it when you try. But for me, I feel like video games is a form of meditation. Just relaxing and just
because you just let your mind go.
Yeah,
and you just kind of
listen to the story of the video game or whatever you're doing.
You're
making
right.
Music.
I'm glad you said that because I think people think meditating is just like a certain way.
Yeah, sitting there cross-legged, just that. But it's not. It's whatever makes you calm and in the zone and knowing yourself. It's all that type of stuff.
So when you're not making music, what do you normally do?
Video games.
Video games.
Yeah,
video games are fun, man.
Yeah, if I'm not working, if I'm also,
I haven't gotten back into it, but it's fun, man. Like my nephew plays this, I play with him sometimes, and it's so fun. And I'm like, fuck.
It's a good pastime.
Yeah, but it's a pastime,
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
So it fucks me up because I'm just like, damn, I didn't do shit today.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, I see it as a form of meditation. So maybe that's like a cheat code. Maybe that's like a way out, but it's not really. Like, you know what I'm saying?
When you think about your goals, how far do you think off?
Probably like
your current goals right now. So I know there's current and long-term goals. What's your current goals? How many years do you think that, or how many?
10 years.
10 years.
Think about how I'm going to be when I'm in my early 30s.
And your long-term goals, what are you thinking about?
Moving to Italy and having a really expensive house and having nice cars to drive around in all day.
And how far?
Hopefully that will be by the time I'm 40, 50. I'm hoping. If I make a lot of money off of music and movies and TV shows and all that, I could have my own little nice, couple $1 million mansion.
So what's your idea of success?
Being able to make money off of doing things I love.
Okay.
Like making media or content in any kind of way. If I'm able to, like I said, make music and get money off of it, that's just a win-win.
What if all you're doing and you're making, say, maybe 50,000 a year?
I'll totally be happy with that.
Oh, nice.
At the beginning, obviously, but I would eventually want to,
just to push yourself. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But if I'm making $10,000, if I made a beat and somebody wanted to offer me $50, I would be outrageously happy. I would be like, thank you. That means a lot. You don't know how much that means for you to want to buy my music.
Yeah, man. It is nice, man. Me doing photo shoots. There's some photo shoots that I Like recently, I did a shoot with like this contractor, and he's like a carpenter, so he makes shit from like scratch. And the thing is, like I said before, I'm a big architectural like person. You know, I appreciate like people doing things like that. So when he asked me for how much what I charged to just film him and take some photos, and he gave me my asking price. So I was like really happy to do that because I'm just like, yo, this is pretty cool because like this is actually one of the clients that I actually want to work with, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Right. And my long-term goal obviously will be after I have my production company. You know, I've made movies already. Like that's what I'm hoping for. Like I'm like retired almost. You know.
You said Italy. Why Italy?
Scenery, Naples, and all that is really nice looking.
Which ethnicity again?
Italian and Puerto Rican.
And who's Italian and Puerto Rican in your family again?
My dad is Italian and my mom is Puerto Rican.
Mom's Puerto Rican. Your mom's full out, like her family's full out Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I think she's like 10% Italian as well. Like, there's like a little bit of Italian mixed in there, but she's her family's from Puerto Rico.
What about your dad?
No, they're full on Italian.
Yeah, who's the first generation to come here? Is it your parents?
My dad was one of the first generation of my family to be born here. My dad.
Oh, to be born here. He was born here?
Yeah, my grandpa came here, and then they were like 30, I think, when he got here.
Oh,
and
nice.
They had my dad pretty quick. So I think my dad, he always says he was the firstborn of the Costellas.
Costellas?
Yeah, but I think there's like one or two other people that were born like right before him.
Costella.
Yeah, Costella.
That's funny.
I like that name. Frank Castle.
Oh my God,
dad's
yeah,
name.
you're right.
That's my dad's name. Frank Costella's Castle in Italian.
No way.
Yeah, my dad's Frank Castle. And my middle name's Franco. So I'm also Frank Castle.
That's what would you ever change your last name?
My last name? Nah, I love my last name.
You like it?
Yeah. Stellar.
I've thought about, because how me and Catherine have been talking about it, because I like her last name.
Montoya?
Yeah. And I like my last name because it's just like, it's simple. But I always thought about, what if we just create our own last name just to start a new generation? Because think about it, you're starting a new family.
Montoyas? Montoyas?
Yeah,
mixing your names together.
But just the idea of it, like creating your own like line, you know? Because
that'd be cool. I never thought about that.
Because when people move to a different country, like moving to the US for the first time, a lot of like, especially like Asian families, like they're not going to translate their fucking last name because it's kind of hard. So they just make a new last name.
Yeah, I work with a lot of Chinese people right now, and I know they be saying their name, and I'm like, that's not your real name. I know you have some crazy Chinese name. Your name ain't Russell. Like, I know it. Your name ain't Herman.
I worked at this Asian group. They're straight from China, you know, like all the owners and stuff. And like the owner's name is Jack. And I'm just like, it's not fucking Jack.
Yeah,
like,
you were not born
what's your
Jack.
real last name?
Yeah.
And then like this other dude was like Mitchell or something, and I was just like, that's not your name, man. Like, what's your full name?
Yeah. You just have to wait for them to talk to other like Asian people, and then they'll say their real name. For real though, that's how it is where I work right now.
Yo, it's mad funny though.
Yeah, there's like we really have people named like Herman, bro.
Yeah, and an example with that was Brianna's sister. You know Brianna's sister, right?
Yeah.
So
I know of her.
She said that her family's name is actually Sisto, but they fucked up her last name when like one of her grandfathers came by. So half her family's Sisto and half her family's Sista.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh shit.
I think she said that in your podcast.
Yeah,
right?
she did, and that's interesting because that could happen.
Yeah, I'm happy that didn't happen to me. Or maybe it did. Maybe they were Costello. My grandpa just didn't forgot. It was like, oh, whatever. Costello sounds better.
Or yeah, maybe maybe they were gonna translate it like Castle, but he was just like, no, keep it like that.
Yeah, no. Antonio Castle. That would have been horrible. I would have definitely changed my name then.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
I'm Antonio Castle. Like, get the fuck out of here. Castella. That's way better.
I thought you were Hispanic, but like I thought Castello. Wait, Castella or Castello? Castella. Castella.
You know how many times I'd be like, they'll like, you remember back in school when they would like tell you ask your name, and they would ask me, and I'll be like Castella,
Coño.
And then they would still write Costello, and how mad I would get.
Like fucking.
I'll be like, I fucking yelled A, and you're still getting my name wrong, bro. I'm like Castella, LLA with an A. I'd be saying I would say with an A, not an O, and they'll still write an O, and I'm like, what's wrong with you people? I feel like they would see the A and just be like, "Oh, they meant O."
Yeah,
and I'll be like, "No, A." That's really what it is.
Yeah, because Castello is like it's like
common.
A Spanish name, you know.
It's a super common name.
But Castella, like you don't hear that. That's where I got confused too. I was just like, wait, like you're not.
I've never met another Costella.
Yeah, there's no Costello. There's
Yeah.
Costello because Costello's like
Costello.
isn't this dude
Alex
Costello?
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that's very common. But
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
what the A is, I don't know any other A's.
I don't know. All right. So when you're making beats, sometimes I know you could get stuck. How do you get out of like a creator's block?
You mean the name of your thing? How do I get out of
That's what I told
Yeah,
you.
I know, yeah,
I
I
came
know.
up with it, right?
Yeah. Just making fun of it.
All right, so just people don't know. So creator's block literally came out because I was having a creator's block, and I was just like, "That's pretty common." So I'm just gonna
it
use
worked
that.
really well. I like it. With the programs now, they kind of help you with creator's block.
Really, how?
Yeah, like Felix just showed me this. You could kind of like, I feel like it's cheating, but you could make a melody for you. Like you just write out like a note and the tempo you want it to be, and it will take the note you picked and make like a melody out of the note. I know you don't know music, so it's kind of hard for me to explain it to you.
No, I understand that though. Like you just take your basses. And
Yeah, I put like a bass to it, and then it'll like
randomizer
make a whole
or
ass
something.
melody to it. Yeah, you
Oh,
could,
wow.
yeah, like it would like, and I'm like that actually does help a lot. You know, like I can't think of a good melody. I could just randomize it until I hear something.
When was the
that's
last
good.
time you actually had one?
Last night.
Yeah.
No, the night before. Last night I was doing pretty good. I didn't really. I was like
How often does it happen?
more than I wanted to. Like definitely like, if out of 10 beats, I probably have creator's block with like 4 of them. If I make out of 10, you know, like half of them probably is gonna be like I had to like really like.
I think it's so common though. Like I feel
Yeah, it is common.
when you don't have a creator's block, I feel like that only happens with client work.
Mm.
So if a client comes up to you stating exactly what they want, you're not really gonna have a block with that.
Yeah.
So if you're just gonna be a production company for like a client, you're never gonna have it. At least I think so, because it's kind of like, unless they give you full creative freedom for like anything, but then in that case, then it's your idea, whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's barely client work at that point. It's your personal work.
Yeah, when I'm sitting there, like I have to make a beat, and it's like when I try to force it, then it's kind of like I get that like I don't know how I want the melody to go. It sounds like the same as everything else I'm doing. There's nothing really special to it.
Yeah, and like if a client comes up to you stating like, "Oh, I want it to sound very tropical. Like you're gonna do this. Like this is the instruments I wanted to
Yeah,
use."
I know what
and like
kind of melody they want. How
and I want to
how they-
bachata shit, you know.
Yeah.
So then you're just gonna experiment anything they come out with. Like as long as you get the basis of it, it's gonna come out how they wanted.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really the only way I get out of it.
But what do you do to get out of it? Besides, like, say, like, if you're completely burnt out, like, what's your pastime?
I'll like just either try to make something with a different feel, like maybe a little slower tempo. If I'm doing a faster beat and I can't really think of anything good, I'll try to make like a slower type beat. Or what helps me a lot actually is like I'll have the drums just ready, because making drums I never really get creator's block with.
Oh,
That's
really?
drums are pretty simple to get good at. And I'll just play guitar over it and try to see if I can get any good melodies, you know, or good like chord progressions. And that really helps most of the time too for me to get a good like basis for what I want to do for the song.
Oh, but you're
Like I won't even record the guitar. Like I'll
You're just
strum
straight
out the guitar and I'll be like, okay, that's a good chord progression. I'll go on the piano and put it like that. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
saying? Yeah.
So you stick to the music part.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
So it's
interesting.
either I do that or
You're just doing another like sample sound.
yeah. It's either I do that or I just kind of step away from making like a beat. I won't force it, you know. I mean, I feel like forcing it hurts you in the long run.
Yeah, it does. 100%. You burn
Because then
out
you make the
quick.
beat and you're like, it's not that good.
But that's different because you're still like if you're making a sound, you're just gonna make a different sound just to kind of contradict that and
Just
to
give
help
me
it
like
out. Yeah.
inspiration.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I think when it comes to me making like edits, I think the only time I have a creator's block is when I'm making edits or when I'm shooting models, because sometimes the chemistry isn't good with like the model and photographer, so it becomes difficult to come up with like a pose and like a concept for it. And that's usually why I bring people for my shoots, unless I already have a full out concept planned out. Then obviously I don't need anybody to like come and help out. But I try to have somebody there just to bounce off ideas, just because it helps out to have somebody else there. And I don't really care. I don't really care if they have the same content, because it's never going to be the same content.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually what I get around it. But
Yeah, I
most
get what you're
cases I
saying.
step away, and if I'm I like doing a lot of travel stuff. So if I'm just shooting around, obviously that's my pastime to just shoot around and just kind of record anything or shoot photos of shit.
Yeah, stepping away is a very underrated way of getting past creator's block.
Yeah, it is.
People feel like I'm not making content then. And it's like, well, you step away, you kind of refresh your mind. Like before I had the studio going, I didn't really make music for like months because I was focusing on making money to get all the equipment.
And you just had music. I mean, you just got the studio like last week.
Yeah, so like no, about a couple of 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've had it pretty much now.
And you still came out with your other like mix.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to come out with like at least 2 tapes. Just have music out there every now and then. I'll drop something.
But this is like, now you have a good setup.
Yeah, now I could.
Yeah, you didn't have speakers like that, did you?
Yeah, those speakers are so nice, bro. I love them.
Oh, nice. Which one are they? JBL what?
306.
306.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. What's the mic setup you got? It's the Rode what?
NT1. It's the regular NT1, not the A. I like the one more. I was thinking about getting a Yeti or a Blue, whatever the fuck they're called. But then
the Blue mics are nice, man.
Yeah.
They just look beautiful. And they're fucking huge.
Yeah, they look crazy.
Because the thing is, it has a little like mic thing.
Yeah, they have like an old school look. And they have the crazy looking body, yeah. But I was just testing them out, and I was like, the Rode just sounds so like clean and crisp and has like a good sound to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. It has to do with what you want to portray too.
Yeah, the Blue was a little bit more like its own kind of sound. Like it kind of had its own sound to it. The Rode
same
is
thing
a lot
with like
more
interfaces
natural.
and stuff. Like you have to choose the right one that you want.
Yeah, I wanted more of a natural, just clean sound.
And some people want like an actual look to it.
Yeah.
And the way I think of that is like when you apply filters to like your camera and stuff, because you could put like lens filters on it, or when you think of a filter, you're gonna apply for your photo afterwards. Like I have a lot of presets, so most cases that's usually the look I want to go for. So I just use those presets for my photos.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really. I try to be as efficient when I edit, unless there's a certain look I want to do, then it doesn't. I already know what kind of look I usually go for,
Yeah, you know how it's gonna look at the end of the.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time creating those presets, so it's like at that point that's my style,
Yeah, it's a good thing because then you kind of have the finished product in your head while you're taking the picture, so you already know how it's gonna kind of look. In a way.
So it should be fun. It
makes the process a lot more chopped down,
just smooth.
Yeah,
I try to be as efficient with that.
You should be.
All right, so last thing, we're just gonna end it off at what advice would you give to people getting into music?
Be yourself. Don't force it. Like I'd say that for sure. If you try to chase, if you want to do it for the money, do it for the money. But just realize that you're probably not going to be in it for the long run. So if you really wanted to be in it for the long run, be yourself with it. Just make sure, don't try to do something you don't want to do. Find your own path into doing it, and if you really want to do it, you could do it. Really,
makes sense.
That's all I could really say.
No, it makes sense. You have to be yourself. I think people forget that. It's also why I stopped taking a lot of client work too.
Oh, okay.
Just because
I see it all the time with new people where they're just like, "Why don't you make a fucking Playboy Cardi type beat?" And it's like, because I don't feel like making a Playboy Cardi type beat right now. It's like, oh, if you made this type of beat, you'd be popping already. It's like, well, I don't want to do that, so I don't really care. Yeah. I'd rather do it my own way, you know what I'm saying? Now we're at a time now where everybody could do everything their own way.
That's strange that like it is for like clout.
Yeah.
A lot. And it's unfortunate that people feel that need,
I hear it all the time. They're like, yo, just rap like this, just put the auto-tune on and sing like this and over this type of beat, and you're gonna be popping. I'm like, I don't want to make that type of sound.
It's gonna be short.
That's not how I want to make that type of sound, That's not what I want to be known for.
Yeah, and that's good because whenever you're gonna get into something, I feel like you won't even think about what people are gonna think about you.
Yeah, you'll find an audience if you make good music. You're gonna find people who like it.
That's like, and sometimes people have like, so certain photographers, if they only shoot portraits and they start shooting something else, they feel weird because they don't want to do it. They're saying the way they see it, they're like, oh, I'm losing like likes and stuff like that, so I'm gonna just stick to what I know, and that sucks because they build their reputation around that. And I know a lot of photographers that they don't even post their own pictures of themselves, like on their profile picture, they have a picture of a model, so they think that the model is them.
Is the important part, yeah.
So then they have a lot of guys following them, and they have a fan base But whenever they start posting themselves, it's hard for them to transition that.
Because they are already going by likes. So when they see that they post something that isn't what the people want, and then they're like, well, I'm not going to upload that anymore. So that you're already not being yourself.
And I think I managed to get away from that.
Yeah,
because I made it about myself. And I started out doing photography.
Yep.
Then I got into video. Now I'm doing podcasts and I have my brand. And whatever, I post random, like either one of them. And some people like my photography and they're like, oh, I like your photography more than your video. But some people are just like, yo, post more of your video than photography. But it kind of all balances itself out. So
yeah, you're just doing what you want to post.
yeah, because I don't really care, man. Like it's like I posted for myself, and when I was doing the Hawaii edit, because I just released that. I was putting a lot of like my dialogue more than normal, and it still wasn't that much.
Like you were talking to your brother.
Yeah, and I had a split thought. I was just like, I wonder if you hear it. I had a split thought.
It's squeaky.
Yeah, it's a little squeaky. I wonder if you can hear it in the mic. Probably can, but
let's see.
All right. So I had a split thought. I was just thinking to myself, maybe I should take away this dialogue. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Is it done? This is why I didn't want to do it later too, because it was going to be the same thing.
It's gonna be the same
You're
thing.
gonna hear people walking around, hear people yelling.
So, hold up. I think it might be time anyway. Hold up. I'm gonna just keep recording. All right. So when I did the Hawaii film,
Oh yeah.
I had a split thought that, because I was stating that I included more audio of me talking than normal,
Yeah. Dialogue.
and more dialogue. And I had a split second. I was like, should I take this out? Because, it might be too much. But I'm like, no, wait, but this happened. Like, I want to remember this for me, not even for anybody else.
Oh, okay.
So when I was in one of the parts, I was stating that that we missed that we our Toro car, because we rented a car from Toro.
Nice.
It was hard to find a car there because all the rental places were already booked out.
Oh, okay.
And Toro, when we did it like on our flight to Hawaii, like our second flight to Hawaii, and we booked it and they canceled that day, and we're just like, fuck, like that was a good deal. So we were having trouble with that, and I included that like in the film, and I was thinking about taking that part out because I was like, I mean, it's not visually like appealing, but I'm just like, I don't even care because like that's just for me. Like I forgot that actually happened, and I want to remember that's what happened, because that was like one of the things that was something significant for us. We were just like struggling with that because we took 2 flights to Hawaii. It was one from Jersey, which is a 10-hour flight, to Honolulu, and from Honolulu to Maui.
Damn.
So on our when we were in Honolulu, we were just like, we gotta book something. We were like literally on the line, like on the plane trying to book it and stuff, and we managed to book it like last minute. And by the time we got to Maui, it was canceled. And we're just like, what the fuck?
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, we're just like, damn, man. And the thing is, the flight from Honolulu to Maui is less than an hour. So within those minutes, it got canceled.
Wow.
And we're like, damn, man. So, but yeah, it was like struggling for us because we were trying to find a car because everything's kind of far. The good part is we were by a resort, but we needed a car for like our trips. And you're gonna see that like you're gonna see that in the later 2 films.
Oh, okay.
What trips we took and why we needed a car, because it would have been expensive as shit if we like did it. Yeah.
But you use Turo?
Use Turo, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Turo's cool.
It
Better
is cool.
Enterprise.
They don't have Enterprise over there, I think.
Yeah, it's better. Turo.
Better than Toro?
No. Turo's better than Enterprise because you get to pick your car. Yeah, you get to pick nice cars.
Yeah.
You don't gotta pick a fucking Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah, man. All right. So again, lastly, just let them know again, like what they should do, or what advice for people getting into music again, just to kind of recap it.
Be yourself. Don't force it. That's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to tell the motherfuckers. If you want to make music and you really want to make it, then just make it. Don't listen to whatever people tell you. Just make whatever music you want to make.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, because it's so easy not to do that.
It really is.
Especially nowadays.
You can copy off if you want.
You can 100% copy.
All right. So, Antonio, thank you again.
Appreciate it.
Where do we find you?
Toni_Tones on Instagram. And the same thing on YouTube.
Can you spell it out? So Toni, Toni
TONI __ TONEZ.
Tonez.
Just like that.
You have Twitter?
Yeah, same thing. TONI _ TONEZ. I think.
You have a website or not yet?
No, I really need one.
should.
I'm going to.
Yo, Squarespace sponsor
Yeah,
this.
that's what you do. Squarespace.
Yeah, I use Squarespace.
Okay, then I
It's
gotta
nice.
use that because you have a nice website.
I'm actually redoing it, so it's gonna look better. But
I wanted to talk to you about that.
all right, I'll let you know after this then. But thank you again, Toni.
Thank you.
You're awesome, bro. We'll keep an update again later on, maybe another year.
Been a good year.
So, but all right. And